What's up, gentlemen? I am reviving real news. How you fellas doing today? How was everybody's weekend, huh? Oh, I absolutely hope it was way better than mine. But I digress. I hope you fellas are doing well. I do hope you had a good weekend. I hope everybody's having a good start to their week. Definitely better than mine. I hope you guys are well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Find that one thing that allows you sanity, or that 1 to 3 hours means of escape, or something to enjoy, fellas. Because as men, yeah, this is warfare. Absolutely on any and all fronts, gentlemen. Forgive the pause. I got a lot of stuff on my mind. And I want to keep my composure here because I don't want to get into a tangent about my personal stuff. The weather's back to being bipolar, which I hate. But that's neither here nor there. For those of us that have sons, I ask and implore each and every single one of you to do the most that you can to make sure they are aware of not only women, but of psychological situations, instances, trauma, and potential future outcomes and damage of women and psychological issues. You see, gentlemen, this is much, much, much deeper than just physical intercourse and other means like that. To a large degree, the psychological torture and the mental anguish, the mental diarrhea, and the mental warfare can be a lot more damaging. And to you younger guys who didn't really have a dad and masculine men around, please heed my words. I'm seriously telling you, unless you know this woman and are aware of the current situation, their mental makeup and other stuff, I'm telling you, don't. You're walking into the belly of the beast, a hornet's nest. It's something you might not make it out of. I walked into a hornet's nest and I didn't realize it until the other day. I'm lucky to be talking right now. I'm lucky to be talking. But I digress. Protect yourselves. Protect your sons. And you make no joke. You make damn sure you're aware. Just because you're told something, and just because words are spoken, and gestures are there, hey, don't be duped and it's genuine and sincere, okay? Don't be duped into acts and gestures are sincere and there's not consequences. There's nothing free. And I'll argue the current makeup and situation regarding Caucasian American women, there's not a category for it in our current system. There isn't. I'm telling you, My God in heaven, I am so glad I was born when I was and grew up when I did. I can remember, I will always have the memory of when women were women and weren't mentally fucked and on drugs, chasing a fucking made-up dragon, unicorn, whatever. I will go to my grave because nobody can take those memories from me. Like so many of you older fellas, I've watched a lot of this in real time. This is warfare on so many different levels, gentlemen. Knowledge and conversation are more important now than ever, gentlemen. The rise of narcissism, egos, empty, meaningless words and gestures is upon us. Nothing is free, and people really don't care unless there's something in it for them. A cleaning of conscience, a relief of guilt, a sense of validation, or an evil, demonic, sadistic means of pleasure. And that could be sexual too. Sadistic mental delusions where they get pleasures out of watching people suffer. You make no mistake. We are at war. We are under attack. It's how we conduct ourselves. The conversations we have and the knowledge we share. It's going to separate the wheat and the tares. The men from the boys. And the punks from the bitches. The time is coming sooner than later, gentlemen. Again, the time is coming sooner than later for the day of reckoning or the day of all-out confrontation and conflict. Because you see, one side of the equation is trying to stop this and stop the suffering and work towards the healing and progression. You see, where the other side is so evil, maniacal, sadistic, selfish, and narcissistic, they don't want it to end. They feed off of this. They enjoy it. Whether it's the suffering of men, children, and or both. Again, fellas, you make no mistake. We are at war. Together we stand, divided we fall. Let's revive some real news, fellas. Just get out of your head, bro. Stay out of your head. Why do you always think? You're reading too much. You're thinking about it. You're overanalyzing. Well, why are you thinking? Well, why do you want to understand? Well, why can't you just, why can't you shut the fuck up and sit down? Stop telling men to get out of their head. Stop telling men, why are you thinking? Don't think so much. Stop trying to understand. No. Without respect, we reject. Sit down, shut the fuck up. You see, gentlemen, why do any and all women harp and larp to us men? Stay out of your head. Stop thinking so much. You're overdoing it. Why are you reading this? Why is this? Why? Well, can't you just chill? Can't you just do that? No. No. Real men don't do that. Real men, since the beginning of time, have always wanted to know, understand, and problem solve. It's only in the last 20 to 30 years men became bitches and sit there with their thumb up their ass on a goddamn video game and a bag of fucking Doritos. No! Miss me with that shit. Men always want to understand. They always want to know why things are going on the way they are. Men, young and old, today's the day you tell them to kick rocks. Stop listening to any and every woman say, get out of your head. Stop thinking. Stop trying to understand. Just be. Just accept. Just go with the flow. Hey, no. We're not hoes. We don't do that shit. We don't go with the flow, and we don't have a flow. Go with the flow. Just chill. If you motherfuckers weren't so narcissistic, egotistical, maniacal, devious, and evil, we could chill. But no, y'all want to be hoes. You see, there's a reason women don't want you doing it. It's so you don't understand the body language, the words that they say to you, or the lack of words. So you don't know their body language. And so you let them do what they're doing to you and others. See, they don't want you in your head, because when you're in your head, for the right reasons, you are figuring things out. Because after all, gentlemen, 2 and 2 is 4. It's not 7 or 8. So when something doesn't add up, a functioning, healthy, logical male is going to try to problem solve. How about you guys get off your phones and get your head out of your vaginas, and maybe men wouldn't be in their heads so much trying to problem solve and figure things out. Because after all, who causes the problems in the situations? I'm going to say 9.5 out of 10, it's the women and ain't the dudes. But just get out of your head. Gentlemen, don't listen to this. You have to know what's going on. This is exactly why I always say about the fucking distractions and the garbage people are caught up in. This is why you get caught off guard, you get ambushed, you get bamboozled, and shit catches you sideways. Because you're always distracted and you're not in your thoughts and in your shit. Maybe you wouldn't get got by a woman or whatever if you would stay in your head and on point and on focus. So, no, we will not get out of our heads. It is more apparent than in my lifetime God bless America, I'm fired up. The way women are and conditioned, it's a lost cause. And technology and instant gratification has done it. I'm really curious as the neurological map and the synapses that fire and don't fire in the current Caucasian American woman. I'm curious as to the emotional aspects of these neuron synapses. What fires and what doesn't fires, because my gosh, are they masculine more than ever? Evil and, my God, narcissistic to a degree that I don't have a word for. Get out of our heads? And you ladies need to get in your heads and get in touch with reality and in touch with yourselves. Jeez. Anymore, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could even talk with anybody about what the heck's going on with myself. The other thing is, I don't even know if I could give any kinds of positive words about any kind of female stuff ever again. Stay out of your head. Stay out of your head. That's some funny stuff. If men stayed out of their heads, civilization would have ceased however long ago. I'll say again, I think it's too far gone. I really do. I don't believe personally that any interactions or gestures are sincere and genuine. Stay out of your head. What feminist book or podcast did that come from? Okay? Is that from a woman who got caught sucking that fucking BBC lusting? Yeah. Is that a woman who got caught fucking stealing somebody's children? Is that a woman who got caught trying to have her cake and eat it too? Oh, if they weren't in their heads and trying to figure out. As men, always be on your purpose. Always be thinking. If you don't think, you're going to get got. If you're not trying to understand your reality, if you're not trying to have situational awareness in where you stand or where whatever it is, that's unbecoming of a man. Because men always want to know what's going on, why it's going on. Only a simp cuck loser is going to be, who cares, whatever. That's some kind of female weird stuff. Tell you why women don't do anything. Because they're too busy on their fucking technology and they're too busy chasing dragons and worshipping some goddamn fucking orgasmic symbology, astrology. Pisces is inside the anal sphincter of Gemini, which is having a foursome with Aries, who is worshipping suck my fucking dick. That shit ain't fucking real. Demonic, satanic, Baphomet, succubi, Jezebel. Fuck you. Go to hell with that shit. That's why you have no emotions, no bonds, connections, or nothing with no humans except them other empty, soulless, star sign worshipping losers. Pisces is anal fucking Gemini. I'm gonna turn this boot sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass. Worship that, motherfucker. Hey, did Aquarius tell you that I don't give a fuck? Did Sagittarius tell you my pronouns are kick rocks? Hey, did Pisces tell you nothing new under the sun? Fuck out of here. Did Saturn's rings all of a sudden mess with your ovarian cycle to where your blood flow is so heavy you can't go to work? Cry me a river. Give a fuck. Get out of your head. We'll get out of our heads the day you stop worshipping fake bullshit signs and symbols and sleeping with animals. We'll get out of our head the day you stop kidnapping, castrating, and torturing children. We'll get out of our heads the day we can have our lives, finances, houses, mortgage, food, and hygiene back. We'll get out of our heads the day family court, child support, and feminism doesn't exist. Fuck out of here. Oh, well, everybody was acting like this. Everybody was thinking too deep in conversations because my Aquarius was in motherfucking Roomba, which was motherfucking going in my LG HD TV, which was going in my Monopoly. Man, how much more verbal diarrhea, made up, nonsensical bullshit do us men gotta see, hear, breathe, eat, sleep every fucking hour of the day? Get out of our heads? Our heads is the only safe, logical, quiet place we have. Without respect, we reject. Fuck this. When you can't be manipulated, talked down, bought, manipulated, lied to, pandered to, you are the enemy and a threat that must be removed at any and all cost. Don't kid yourself. When you are independent, not afraid of being by yourself, not afraid of walking that long, winding, lonely road, you are an imminent threat that must be eradicated. When you don't conform, worship, and lust, you are an imminent threat. Never get out of your head. Never. You stay true to yourself. You stay with your feelings. You stay with your thoughts. You don't be caught off guard. You don't be shamed. And gentlemen, do not kid yourself. We have no friends. We have no family. No loved ones. Nobody loves us. People might look down upon you and pity you and feel a type of way. And their words, gestures, and actions. Don't kid yourself, fellas. They're meaningless. They're empty. It's for the other person's validation. It's called virtue signaling. So they can go on social media and then go to work and talk shit about you, all the while propping themselves up about, look at me, I'm strong, independent, stunning, and brave. I'd rather get run over by a semi-truck, kicked into the gutter, bleed out, and die. I'd rather go in the woods and starve and freeze to death of every kind of dehydration and whatever. I'd rather die in my sleep than be pandered, somebody else's meanings of feeling better, or their weapon for virtue signaling. I am 40 years old and I'm here because of none of those things. And I will not be anything or anyone because somebody wants to virtue signal on my behalf. Don't you either, fellas. Gentlemen, stay with yourselves. You stay true to yourselves. You keep your thoughts and your feelings. But you conduct yourselves like a gentleman. All the while, you have respect for yourself. You're not a doormat. You don't tolerate things. You don't accept things. You don't allow people to say whatever they want. You don't allow people to put their hands on you. And as men, you do not allow someone to validate or virtue signal or whatever for their behalf. It is better to go without and do without than to become a weapon in somebody else's virtue signaling scheme and mental delusional nonsensical bullshit. As men, we are built for this. We are built to endure, to hurt, and to carry on. Whereas women are not. So let them conduct themselves as they do. They hit a wall and we don't. They get left alone and can't deal with it, but we can and we do. You see, their kids and their whatever leave them intentionally because of a lot of evil, nefarious reasons. Whereas men, our children are stolen from us. And maybe at some point in the future, they'll come back around once they know the real truth. Karma's a bitch. Life is a bitch. You just don't marry one. And gentlemen, as always, now more than ever, if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. This has been Reviving Real News.